going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Checkwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is a review for Monday Night Raw, and this is October 29th, 2018. And I gotta say, man, they're trying to cover their tracks pretty good. We'll get into that in just a second, but there's some absolute BS in this show that WWE just put themselves in a bad position, and then they had to cover their tracks. So let's get into this. You start out with Baron Corbin. He's talking about, Roman Reigns having to make the announcement. Of course, they recapped Roman Reigns' announcement from last week. And then, of course, Baron Corbin, tries to use his heel bit, talking about, well, if Roman Reigns does come back, I hope it's not to Raw, whatever. Gets interrupted by Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman does this spiel about Brock Lesnar is going to be the next Universal Championship. Braun Strowman comes down. And it looks like Braun Strowman's going to get in Brock Lesnar's face. Baron Corbin tries to intervene, gets pushed into the corner. Baron Corbin tries to attack Braun Strowman, gets 3 power slams, and then Brock Lesnar answers with an F5 to Braun Strowman. So that was your opening. And then after the commercial break, you see Baron Corbin's getting hauled to the back. Finn Balor comes up and he just kind of looks at Baron and laughs. Then he has a match with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley dominating for the first half. Finn Balor comes back through the second half. Eventually, looks like Finn Balor's going to go for the coup de grace. Lio Rush pushes him off the top rope, gets Bobby Lashley disqualified, so Finn Balor wins 2 weeks in a row. Bobby Lashley attacks Finn Balor after the match. Does a pretty good workup on him. And then you get a backstage segment where Bobby Lashley and Baron Corbin are talking. Baron Corbin says that he's going to put Bobby Lashley in the World Cup tournament and he's going to replace John Cena, who never really qualified. Well, this is where WWE is covering their tracks. A lot of people are saying it's because John Cena didn't want to travel. It's because John Cena didn't want to be affiliated with the Saudi Arabian embassy and all the crap that's going on right now, that huge controversy. He doesn't want to be marred by that. And you have to respect John Cena for standing his ground. So I think that's cool, actually. So WWE's answer is Bobby Lashley is now in the tournament in place of John Cena. So you get an Evolution interview. There was an interview with Ronda Rousey right after the pay-per-view that they were showing after that, where Becky Lynch kind of interrupts her, and they have a match coming up at Survivor Series. So that should be interesting. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. That actually might be a good match. And then you get Lita, Trish Stratus, Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Bayley, and they take on the Riot Squad, Alicia Fox, and Mickie James. And I thought this was a pretty good match. It had some good spots in it. Pretty fun, pretty entertaining. You still had the nostalgia fact with Lita and Trish Stratus. And Sasha Banks carried a lot of the weight of the match, honestly. She was in there quite a bit. There was one point where she did a jump and her legs buckled. It looked kind of rough. But other than that, really good match. And you had Lita do her Lita Salt. And then you had the Frog Splash from Sasha. They pick up the win. So, pretty cool for what it was. Then you get a backstage interview with Nia Jax and Ember Moon. Nia Jax winning the Women's Royal Rumble and Ember Moon throwing the most girls over the top. So they have a little friendly bickering between each other that leads into a match later. Not a big deal. Then you get Elias. Elias, I'm really going to be interested to see how he does as a face, because he's been a heel and it looks like he's turned face. And they recapped him hitting Baron Corbin last week with the guitar. And then he goes from the ring to Baron's dressing room and he starts singing Baron Corbin a song, which was pretty funny. I liked the fact that they're throwing humor into it. And then Jinder Mahal comes out of nowhere, starts beating on Elias because they have a match next. So that leads into the match, Elias versus Jinder Mahal, where you got the Singh brothers interfering and, of course, doing the basic heel tactics. Elias turns it around probably 3/4 through the match. And I like Elias's intensity in the ring. Like, sometimes, like, when he goes to, like, firing on somebody, it's pretty intense. I like that. He does hit the driftaway on Jinder, gets the win. So I definitely like that. Get a short iPhone promo from Kurt Angle. He's in the gym, he's all sweaty, and he's saying that he's ready to win the World Cup tournament, basically. Then you have tag team match, The Ascension versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode versus the AOP. Well, the AOP come down, and both The Ascension and Chad Gable and Bobby Roode go and attack The Ascension to kind of take them out of the equation. So it's essentially Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus The Ascension. And it was actually kind of cool. Chad Gable goes into this like little power suplex, you know, where he's got the guy on the mat and then picks him straight up. And Bobby Roode hits him with the neck breaker as he's falling, so that was kind of a cool move. And Chad Gable, Bobby Roode pick up the win. Then the AOP come in and attack both teams and kind of annihilate everybody. So Gable and Roode get the win. AOP still looks strong. Then you get Seth Rollins, really good in-ring promo. He's calling out Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose shows up in the crowd, doesn't really say anything. Seth Rollins saying, at least when I betrayed you guys, I had the guts to do it in front of your face. I was a man about it. And Dean Ambrose, you know, doesn't say anything. Seth Rollins looks like he's going to go chase after him, and Dean Ambrose just kind of strolls away. And but yeah, Seth Rollins' promo was pretty damn good, honestly. I really liked it. So, good stuff there. Backstage, Charlie interviews Bobby Lashley. Lio Rush is doing all the talking, saying that, you know, this is Bobby Lashley's chance to prove he's number one in the company. Who cares? After that, Nia Jax versus Ember Moon. I'm not a fan of Nia Jax. I've never been a fan of Nia Jax. She's slow, she's lumbering, she's clumsy, she's everything I don't want in a wrestler. She's just big. That's all she is. And that, honestly, is not anything I look for. Ember Moon, on the other hand, highly athletic. And she had a couple of good spots in the ring. Toward the end, Tamina comes out. She doesn't do anything. Nia Jax plows Ember Moon while she's distracted, drops the leg, gets the win. Tamina comes in the ring, doesn't do anything, leaves the ring. It was kind of stupid. Then you get Lucha House Party, and this is Kalisto and Lince Dorado, and they take on the Revival, and they've kind of shit all over the Revival since coming up to the main roster. I think they're a decent team for sure, especially in the ring. But I do like the Lucha style, and it's definitely entertaining to watch. Lucha House Party takes the win. There you go. Just kind of a filler match, honestly. Then you get Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre doing in-ring promo. Drew McIntyre talking about how he's going to have his eyes on Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar for the world title because he's going to be next in line, which I would love to see. And then Dolph Ziggler's talking about how he's going to win the World Cup. And Kurt Angle must be out of his mind for saying he's going to win. Because apparently one of the first matches is Dolph Ziggler versus Kurt Angle. So that leads into Dolph Ziggler versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews gets a lot of good spots in. Dude is just crazy athletic. And of course at the end, he's going for a top rope splash onto Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler gets the knees up, hits the super kick, gets the win. And that's kind of the end of that. Then they end the show with the Brothers of Destruction. They come out in their 20-minute long entrances. And, you know, they do their typical Brothers of Destruction promo. And then DX music hits. Triple H comes up to the stage, waiting for Shawn Michaels. You don't see him. Kane gets out of the ring, starts walking up toward Triple H. Undertaker turns around, eats a super kick from Shawn Michaels, sweet chin music, drops the Undertaker. At the very end of the show, Undertaker pops up and then they're staring at each other. And that's where you leave it. So they're definitely promoting Crown Jewel a lot more than they promoted Evolution. They were promoting Crown Jewel last week when Evolution was there, which I thought was bad. And you know, it's going to be really funny to go from Evolution to watching what they do for Crown Jewel because you know it's going to be big. And that was one of my big problems with the promotion of it. And you know, honestly, I I still don't like the fact that they're still going to Saudi Arabia. I mean, I get it. It's a lot of money, but they already make a lot of money. And this would not hurt them. It might drop their stock a little bit, but I mean, you're talking. I think they've averaged it out to they make like actual take home like $2 million, which is nothing for WWE. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll probably do the review, and we'll see where it goes. As far as this show, though, I actually liked a lot of what they did. I liked that they explained Bobby Lashley replacing John Cena. Well, of course, they had to take the time to do that. I liked the women's tag match. I liked the Elias Baron Corbin bit. I thought that was pretty funny. Couple of filler matches. I mean, that just comes with a 3-hour show. They do that all the time now. So I just come to expect it. So I will give this, I'll say middle of the road. I'll say 5 out of 10. I don't know that there was anything really stand out about it, but it wasn't terrible either. So I think halfway is fair. So 5 out of 10, that's where I'm at. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you enjoyed this. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwoods. Kaged Nation, out.